Alright, now that you've watched the videos and you know how to take apart a Chromebook, you know how to put it back together, you know how to replace some of the parts, one of the things that we're going to look into is we're going to look into our documentation. This is one of the most important parts of not only being a tech ninja, but of being in the IT world. When you are in IT, one of the most important things that you can do is document. We document every possible change that we make. And the reason behind that is because we might make a change in January and say the problem isn't fixed come April. We might not remember all of the changes we did to all of the different PCs that we've worked on, and we need that documentation to be able to look back and say, all right, I made this change on this date, this fixed some of the issues but not all of the issues. Now I need to go one step further. It also acts as a guide for other techs. If you're out sick for a day or if you've moved on to a better position, other techs need to be able to look back at your documentation and see what it is you did and what you've already tried so that they don't make the same fixes or same attempts a second time. So documentation is key again. So one of the first things that you're going to have is in every Chromebook you're going to see this this Tech Ninja's Chromebook checklist here, and this is a guide for you to be able to follow along and make sure that you got everything. So when you first get the device, you want to look at the ticket. You want to verify what the issue is. Make sure that what the issue on the ticket says is what was put onto the device if there's a sticky note. We want to make sure that the two match up. Make sure you know what work needs to be done before you start. Alright, the next thing you need to do is you need to take pictures. Now with some of the high school devices, sometimes the pictures are already there. And sometimes they're not. It all depends. But you need to make sure that there are pictures. Check the ticket for pictures, and then take your own pictures. It's always best that you take your own pictures so that you can actually look and see or be able to show others what you saw. All right. During the picture taking, you're going to take a picture of anything major, any types of major damages. If you're about to replace a keyboard or a hinge, you need to take a picture of the damage and be able to explain why you are replacing that keyboard or hinge. Same thing with screens, broken screens, things like that. Now there are some things that you may not need to take a picture of. If you get a device in that is a Wi-Fi issue, and there's no actual physical damage to the device, and all you're doing is troubleshooting it through maybe a wipe or replacing the leads on it, that's not going to be a billable problem, and so therefore there's really nothing to take a picture of there. So make sure you know, again, that goes back to the first one, knowing what work needs to be done before you start. The next thing you do after you've got your pictures, you go ahead and fix the device. Replace whatever part you need to replace, do whatever you have to do there, but fix the device. We're not worried as much about cosmetic damages, things like that, but you want to write them down. Use this sheet right here to make notes. You can write wherever you want on it. Make notes. If there's a bunch of scratches to a housing or to the keyboard, maybe there's a crack in the keyboard, but we don't really need to replace it right now because it's still working, make notes of those. What those allow us to do is be able to send those back so that way nobody can claim that you scratched it, you made created some damages, things like that. You want to be able to document those so that basically you're covered. After you fix the device, test the device. You must test the device, all right? And that's more than just turning it on and making sure that the screen works. If you just replace the screen, then that's all you need to do. Open it up, make sure the screen works. If you replaced a keyboard, though, you need to check everything. Check and make sure the screen comes on. Check and make sure that the mouse and the keyboard work. Make sure that it types, things like that, just to make sure that you didn't make a mistake with the cabling. If you want to go, if you changed out some speakers or something like that, then log into the device, check the speakers, log out, remove yourself from the device, and it's good to go. But make sure you test it. It's very important. We don't want to send a device back that isn't fixed just to get it back a couple days later and have to refix it again. Next, you're going to fill out the ticket, and this is basically just a quick little assessment here of making sure that you got everything on the ticket. We then print the tickets, and then we place this form right here as well as the printed ticket inside of the Chromebook. So basically you just open up the monitor, put it onto the keyboard, shut the monitor, and close it up right in there. And then you fill out the spreadsheet. We're going to go over those in a sec. So I'm going to pull this down and I'm going to pull this over to the side here. And so this is our help desk system. It is logged in right now as the Tech Ninjas, so this is what you'll see when you actually log into it. The computer should be set up to, if it's not logged in, just reboot it and it should auto log in as the Tech Ninjas. Open up Google Chrome and it should open the help desk and this spreadsheet right up to where it needs to be. Keep in mind your screen will look a little bit different. I am on I'm on my PC in my office, which has Windows 10, so yours will look just slightly different there. You won't have all this stuff down here at the bottom, but you don't need to worry about any of that. Your Google Chrome will be right on the desktop. Just open that up, and like I said, everything else will open up from there. We have a couple of different tabs up here at the top. We have our Tech Ninja tickets. This is every ticket that's currently assigned to the Tech Ninjas. If you need to find a device quickly, you can just basically come right up here to this upper right hand side here, and we're going to go 16556 because this is the ticket that I have as an example here, and you can actually search for that ticket. Now sometimes you'll come up with multiple tickets here, and you will just have to open them up until you find one that's not closed right here in the status. Okay, but if we go back to my tickets here, you can also search for them in each building too. You can just go down here and you can search for the high school ones if you know it's a high school device, so on and so forth. I am going to go back to the 16556, and this device actually, unfortunately, is a device that was in a car accident, and so it is damaged beyond repair. We actually cannot repair this device. So I'm going to show you basically how to fill out this ticket here and what all we need to do for it. So when you are going through and filling out your ticket, you want to make sure first of all that its assignment is to you. So in this case, I'm going to go and put my name in here because I'm the one that's taking care of this ticket. For you guys, you'll all just fill out where it says Tech Ninjas right here. Okay. You don't have to worry about the priority. That can stay low. Now when you're done with this device, you cannot leave it as Chromebook repair. It needs to be closed. We need to close out the ticket. A lot of times I will see that people didn't follow the checklist here, and so the device, the ticket will be all filled out. It'll be completely done, but unfortunately it won't be closed out, so then it'll still be sitting in the ticket pool like it still needs to be worked on, and we don't want that. So we're going to change this to closed. We are going to change the resolution. It's not an unresolved ticket, it's a fixed ticket. Now sometimes we'll find some that are duplicates or we can't reproduce. Those you guys won't have to deal with as much. You'll just have to change it from unresolved to fixed. Alright? You want to make sure that this asset tag is right here. If you ever need to put in an asset tag, just come down here. We're going to copy this right here, and then you just go to the magnifying glass right here. Pops up with this. Paste that in here right here, and then you would search, and then you just push this little plus button and it'll come right up as this right here and show you which Chromebook you have. Now you need to make sure that the student's name is in here. You need to check that. Most of the time these two will be done for you. You just have to double check it. You do need to change your billable. Is it billable, yes or no? We're going to put billable yes on this one, and then we're actually going to remove these two. Now normally you would put whatever you replace, so damaged screen, keyboard issue, hinge, the damaged shell, those are the housings, and then for this one we're going to put damaged beyond repair. We're actually filling out this ticket so that this student can take this to their insurance company and get them to foot the bill with their car insurance, which is kind of nice. But what we're going to do is we're basically going to put this damage beyond repair here. And you do not change anything in the subject or the note right here. This is where the librarian or teacher or whoever submitted the ticket is going to enter in information. So if you delete this out and put your own information, you're adding to what they were supposed to put in. When you are done with this ticket, so right now I'm ready to go ahead and close this ticket, I will just copy this again, even though it's already copied, just to show you we need to copy this. And then we're going to click the Save Changes right up here. All right, so now with the Save Changes, we're just going to come up to the subject and we're going to paste in that asset tag number, and this is your note section. This little window right here is an email to that teacher or librarian so that you can now document everything that you did, what you saw, things like that. In these, I want you guys to be as descriptive as possible. All right. If you say replaced a screen, you might write something to the effect of screen was replaced, noted scratches to top and bottom housings, also noted cracks in keyboard. These issues do not need replacement at this time as they do not hinder the operation of this device. Alright, so now you can see basically all I put was that the screen was replaced. I mean, it's really pretty simple. I don't need to go through all of the steps of what I did to replace the screen. The end user, the person that this is going back to, this is going to the student and then ultimately the student's parents. So we want to basically put in there what we did and what we saw. So we want to put in there the screen was replaced, noted some scratches on the top and bottom housings, also noted some cracks in the keyboard. These issues do not need replacement at this time as they do not hinder the operation of the device. And then you can put anything else you noted. With a screen replacement, it might be as simple as this, but you're going to come down here and you're going to put in your initials, not your full name, but your initials. Now these initials are not for the parent, these initials are not for the student, these initials are for the for whoever's running the Tech Ninja program and the tech department. And basically all this allows us to do is give a little bit of accountability so that we can come back and ask you questions if we have more questions on this device. So if we have those questions, we can look you up by your initials, and then we can come back and we can ask you those questions as we need to ask them. So again, just put in your initials, not your full name, and then you would basically be able to save this device. So with this one, I'm going to create a new note stating that this device was damaged beyond repair. The device was, device was completely bent. Motherboard found to be damaged, as well as other internal parts. This device will need to be replaced. And then as I'm a tech, I put in my first name, but again, you guys would only use your initials. And so basically then from this point I don't need the technician, but this checkbox makes this go as an email to whoever submitted the ticket. That way not only are we creating a copy that's being saved in the system, but we are also creating an email that is going to go to the person who submitted it so they can read it right away, find out that you fixed the device, what it is, and be able to get that documented on their end. So then we'll just save the changes right here, and that part's nice and easy. From here we need to print the ticket, so we're just going to go to this PDF right here, and when we click on PDF it's just going to bring up this nice little screen right here. We'll come over to the printer, and I'm going to make sure that the printer is correct. In my case, my printer is going to be different than yours, and I'm just going to hit that print button. I can hear it printing out over there, so I can close this out. And then basically you have a second monitor. You'll be able to basically put this ticket over to the second monitor. Fortunately, by waving that around, I just got rid of my other tab there. And this is the one that I now want up right here. So this is our spreadsheet. This is where our charges go. You want to make sure to look at these tabs down here at the bottom. All right, you need to make sure that the right charge goes to the right building. Where you see these blank spaces here, this basically means that these were put into the wrong place. We want to avoid this. This needs to get better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the ticket back over here, and we can look right up here. This location is high school right here. So this is a high school ticket. So I will basically keep it on the high school. If it wasn't the high school, I would go to one of these other tabs, and I would just go down to the bottom, and I'd put in the asset tag number, which again we can get right here, the 16556. 16556. And then from right here, this is where the student's name is going to go in. So I'm just going to basically copy, and I used Control-C to copy there, and then I'll just use Control-V to paste it right here. Then we need to write in what is being charged. So for this, I put in new Chromebook, which obviously you guys are never going to charge an entire new Chromebook. That's going to come through me before it or one of the other techs before it goes out as a full charge for a whole new Chromebook. But you need to make sure that you follow this right here. So this right here, it basically shows you what all of the different charges are. Obviously, there are a whole lot of different names for a whole lot of different parts. The hinge cover, the plastic hinge that you saw the replacement of in the videos, we just call that a hinge for billing purposes. The actual hinge that moves the monitor, we call that the metal hinge. Now keep in mind that we're making this as easy as possible for everyone, so we need to make sure that what we put on this spreadsheet matches this right here. You could call the plastic hinge cover piece hinge cover, bevel, whatever, but when you put it onto here, don't use those fancy words, okay? See, like right here, this is going to confuse someone putting in bevel, so we need this to just say hinge, nice and simple. Right here, this is a good one where it just says hinge, and we need to keep this uniform across the board. Everything needs to be the same on all the tabs. All of them have this little thing right here, and make sure that it's just keyboard, housing, hinge, screen frame. Here's Chromebook replacement, battery, bag, AC adapter, the motherboard, metal hinge, screen frame. That's it. We don't have any other names, and we don't want to use any other names. So if you ever have a question as far as what you should be putting down for a part, come down here. We want to, avoid where we see this right here, top cover. All right, well, it's not a top cover. We're calling it a housing. All right, so try to avoid that. Again, it's not a huge deal, but it's something that is going to help you later on as you try to get into the IT world, get a career. You're going to want to be able to document things properly. All right, so keep that in mind when you are doing this documentation here. And then we can go back over to our checklist and bring that up, and we can say, all right, did we fill out the ticket? Yes, we did. We can even bring the ticket over. Did we fill out whether or not it was billable? Yes or no? Yes, we did. Did we check the box for which parts were replaced? Yes, we checked damage beyond repair. Did we attach pictures? Yes, I attached the pictures previous to this video, so they're right here. If you need to attach a picture, you do the choose file right here. You find your image, and you simply just double click, and there it is. So now with this, I will actually have to delete that picture out in order to do that. I think I have to save it first. So that's a boo-boo on my part, but that's alright. I'll fix that after the video. So we've attached our pictures. We saved the ticket, and we put our initials, not full name, but initials. We did that, right? We went over that, and then we printed the ticket, and then we filled out the spreadsheet right there. So we have now completed everything on here. We can check all of these boxes, and then you can put this along with the printed out ticket into the Chromebook, set the Chromebook where in its designated place for pickup, and you are now done with this device. If you guys have any questions, concerns, things like that, please make sure to ask those questions. We're always open to questions and suggestions. We want to make this process as easy as possible, as well as in the best interest for everyone. So I hope this video has helped you, and again, let us know if you still need any help.